Where is everybody?
That's strange because I just got kicked out of a meeting with saying that it was starting again with the same ID.
Oh,
Me too.
So maybe they'll rejoin.
Oh, great. Hi. Hi, Debbie.
hi.
Did I cut out? I think I cut out for a bit.
We all did. We all did.
Everybody cut out? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. Well, I was just late, so.
Sorry, it bumped me out.
Yeah, I got dropped.
You got dropped too?
Yeah.
Well, I sent emails to Steve and Tara, so. But I think we have enough now with Debbie, right?
Other than somebody to
that
run the
would give
meeting.
us one, 2.
No, we need 5.
We don't
That
have
gives
to?
us 3 voting
Or
members.
no, we need
right?
4. We need 4.
We only have 3.
Right. No, we have 5. We have 4. Mert, you, Debbie, and me.
Yeah, but
Somehow I lost Mert.
me
Oh.
too. He must have just gotten bumped off. He's
He got
not
bumped
here.
off like me, like I did. And Stacy
Oh,
said.
actually, I don't think I saw him. Okay, so he was there.
He
Okay.
was.
Yep, he was.
All right, so that should be enough then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Step back
There's
in.
4 of us, right?
Yeah. If Mert gets back in, we'll have 5.
No one heard from Stacy, from Tara?
No. I wonder if something's going on because it's not like her to not be here.
Were you able to text her on her phone?
I emailed her.
All right, well, I'll text her.
There's Mert. Now we have 5.
I'm back. I lost Mike.
We all did. We got bumped off for a minute.
Okay.
I don't know what that was about. Internet glitch.
Yeah. What you mean?
Maybe Zoom's busy tonight.
Well, should we start?
I just sent her a text just, within the last 30 seconds. So
Okay.
just in case she's not watching her email. So, but I haven't gotten any response or any sense of a response. So
Gotta be something going on.
Yeah. Well, she's the one, she sent us the agenda, so
Right.
it's already, is
Planned.
it 6:41 or 2?
Sounds about right. My watch might be a little slow.
So Debbie, since you did such a nice job at running the one when she was not here, I nominate you to lead us if you don't mind.
Sure.
Ready?
All right, thanks. Well, welcome. That's the first thing on the agenda. I'll fill in until we get Tara back. So the first thing on old business is the motion to approve the November minutes. Does anybody want to make a motion to approve November minutes?
So moved.
Okay, and does anybody want a second?
I'll second that. Mert,
Oh. Okay, Mert seconds, great. So do we have any discussion, any questions?
Yes, Tara.
Is she here? Oh,
Yep.
yay.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. There were 2 Zoom meetings and Steve and our friends liaison was in the other one and then I ended up in the other one. I'm sorry. I was running late because I was on another call and hot mess.
Okay.
Hot mess.
That is quite all right. We knew that wasn't like you, so
Yeah.
we were more worried than anything.
Yeah, I was
No.
worried,
Well,
actually.
I called into the other one and Steve was there. So I'm like, oh, cool. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I see Bruce is in there. But he was in a different one. So I don't know what on earth. I apologize.
It's
It's
okay.
all good. You're here.
We have a motion on the floor, and then you can take over after to approve the November minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
aye,
Anybody abstain? Anybody no, nay? No, okay, so the November minutes are passed, and I officially pass this back to Tara.
Oh, come on. Keep going. Keep
No.
going. Okay. Awesome. Thank you. So, all right. We got Steve. Great. Okay. Sweet. Okay. So, let's see. That was the minute. So our bills. Motion to pay the December bills. And Stacy, do you have our numbers in front of you?
Yeah, do you want me to just run through what was on the list of bills? Because nobody saw them. It just, I don't know. So the first one is Amazon invoicing for $76.63. That was, I don't know. Normally we just pay for Amazon with a credit card, but something weird happened. And so we got invoiced. So
what was the voucher number on that?
what?
What was
That
the
was,
voucher?
that's 150. And we're
Okay.
going through number 162. 151 is Centerpoint large print. Those are your large print books for $1,661.04. That's for a whole year. 152 is DeLage Landon, which is our copier for $212.83. Our regular book order from Ingram was $879.92. Interwoven Financial Health, which is our accountant, $250. Chris Johnson, he is coming to perform on January 4th, and it's a Friends grant. That was $225. Quill, that's all our supplies for the copier and other things. That was $65.74. RDG, again, our bookkeeping needs, $275. 158 is United Business Systems at $45.37. That's also copier related. Lions National Bank, that's our credit card bill, $1,422.07. Hannah Morgan, I got a different grant through PLS. It's a Grow with Google grant, and she's going to do a series of job search classes for $1,000. Utica National Insurance Group, that's our workers' comp, $1,392. And 162 is Brodart, which would be book covers, $76.45. For a grand total of $7,582.05.
Great.
Anybody have any questions about anything I read off?
Sounds normal to me. I'll make a motion. We approve the vouchers. I believe you said 150 through 162.
Yep.
I'll
Second.
second it.
161, right?
No, 162, 150 through 162.
Okay.
And we did have a second. Was that?
Me. Steve,
Steve? Okay. And then all in favor?
aye.
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 No nays? Pay them bills? Okay, great.
Okay.
All right, and then I'll go ahead and pass the torch to Chris. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you? Yeah, so I will give a very similar report that we've had for the past handful of months. I will share my screen quick just so you can all see it. But this is the board report that I sent out earlier today. And this just shows through November how we're doing year to date and compared to the year to date budget, as well as some notes down near the bottom. The year to date revenue total is about just under $331,000. It's over budget, and the biggest reason that it's over budget is those gifts and grants. Stacy is, as always, she's just doing a great job in this environment, just continuing to get additional funding and alternative sources of funding. On the expense side of things, at the same time, we are almost $40,000 under budget. The biggest reason for that are the salaries. So those are lower because of COVID. Those weren't anywhere near what we thought they were going to be and when we prepared the 2020 budget. Benefits are a little bit under. Bear in mind that there should be a retirement payment in December. So there should be one. Well, we would know if there was one. So that'll be a little bit under budget. Again, that's on the cash basis. That's how we account for that. So typically that might mean that there's going to be a little bit of a carryover to 2021. Contractuals under budget by about $7,000, and most of that is because of fewer materials that Stacy's needed because we've been closed for a lot of the year. So I think that the general fund will actually close out higher than it was last year. So that's positive. That means that you have positive cash flows for 2020. Another thing to note is that year-to-date performance, you're really similar to 2019. And in 2019, you received additional state aid, if you remember. And also you recognized a lot of that deferred revenue relative to those capital improvements that were made. So you actually had a lot of one-time unusual revenue hits in 2019. Even with those, 2020 is still tracking well with 2019. So that's really positive to be doing so well in the, considering the year that we've had. And then also just a quick note, the PALMAC and the Granada funding for 2021 has already been received. That cash has come in, and that's sitting in deferred revenue right now on the balance sheet. So that's included in cash, but it'll be revenue. It's revenue for next year. But just want to let you know that we received that.
Awesome.
Overall, same general message that we've had for the past few months. Nothing really unusual has happened in November. Any questions or problems?
No, thank you.
Pretty straightforward. You're welcome. I'll stop sharing.
All right.
I don't have anything to add.
Great. Okay, so then our director's report. Awesome news on the grant, Stacy. How exciting.
Yeah.
Any updates? Have you heard back from anyone?
Just the middle school principal. She's all excited. She's going to be on the panel, but some of the bigger name people, I think because it's the holidays. Senator Helming said no, but not because she didn't want to. She would totally do it, but they're in session on that date. So yeah, I didn't realize that. So that's kind of too bad, but I have some other names in mind too. We'll see what happens. I'm hoping the first week of January to pin down some people, but we'll see.
Sure. And like you said, it's a busy time of year. So
yeah, I mean, I bet a lot of the people I'm thinking about, they probably take this time off.
Sure.
You know, I'm
Yeah.
sure they probably do. So
yeah,
so we'll see.
Great. It's so exciting.
Yeah. Does everybody know the book Wolfpack? or have you heard about it?
I
It's
haven't.
Abby Wambach's book about how women, and not just women, but it's aimed at women, how we can function more or less like a team to be able to raise each other up. And the rules work for anybody that is in any kind of situation where they might feel marginalized. They're really good rules. A lot of them are pretty common sense, but it's a good read. It's a quick read. And it comes in a junior edition, which is kind of nice. So the kids can read it and not have to struggle at all. Plus, in the adult version, there's one chapter where it probably is better that she has a kid's book. It's not horrible, but I mean, I could see that there would be parents that wouldn't like, if you read the book. Now you'll have to read the book to find out what I'm referring to. But she's local. She's from Pittsford, and she made it pretty big. So that I thought would be good too.
Yeah.
So we came up with the book. It was myself and Heidi from Wayne County Literacy Volunteers, and we were brainstorming. She wanted to do some sort of community read, and I'm like, we should try to get something that's local, like somebody from around here. So one thing led to another, and that's how this book.
Cool.
Got to invite Abby to come.
Oh, I want her on the panel, but we'll see. That would be great.
Invite her.
Yep.
Yeah, that would.
Well, and they get paid. The people on the panel get paid. That's what the grant helps to do. So I'm hoping. But I mean, these people make so much money that I think they would get a lot of money. For them, it's probably, not a lot of money, but
Yeah, but being as she's local, she might be interested.
she might. That's the hope.
And they're serving their community, so.
Yep.
Yeah. And soccer is such a popular sport too. I thought that was a good angle. Like maybe people would read it because they like soccer, and they'd be more apt to read it because, you know what I mean? Like people who don't maybe normally pick up a book.
All right. Sorry, Joan's struggling to get into this meeting, so I'm just sending her something now. I thought it was weird that we didn't see her.
It's okay.
So
Did anybody have any questions about the RDG? Wait, am I supposed to wait till later? I'll wait till
you can go ahead. It's fine.
while you're doing. Does anybody have any questions about the RDG and partners increase in accounting? Okay.
No, so do we want to go ahead and make that motion now while we're throwing it out there? It was it 20?
$25 a month increase. So from $275 to $300 a month.
I'll make the motion.
Great, thank you. No.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay.
I have a quick question for Bruce, but I can wait till his turn. But he's
Shoot,
next.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Bruce, I haven't received an official confirmation of what we'll pay for our health insurance. And I wondered if you could find out from Kim what the exact numbers are so that I can make sure to let ADP know so that our withdrawal is appropriate. I think I have the number based on the percentage she gave me, but I just like a confirmation because it's never fun to have to adjust if you make a mistake.
Okay, will do.
Thank you.
Did anybody have any other questions about the board report or the director's report or
No.
okay. All right.
Other thing, I'm gonna get excused later, right? Are you gonna go into executive session?
For
You have to tell me what I'm supposed to pay myself for next year.
did I miss that on the board report? What was that?
Is that the year-end review of the director?
Yeah. The year-end review usually goes along with that.
Oh, got you. Well, I have not received everybody's reviews. And I actually haven't gotten any from the staff, Stacy. So, I mean, I do have a couple that if you want, you know, we can go over. I was gonna actually see when you wanted to get together to go over the couple that I have, but I haven't received all of them, but I do have a couple and they're
Tara, when did those go out?
A
I
while
think
ago.
last month. Yeah, I can resend it. Let me give myself a reminder. I can resend those because I had actually wanted them before. I think it was
14th.
I was gonna say the Monday before our original 21st meeting. So yeah, I can go ahead and send those again.
See, we went on quarantine on the due date, so I don't know if people, they said they liked the idea of emailing you, but they didn't do that.
I haven't gotten any.
You might want to reach out to Julia because she's the one that had, like, if anybody wrote them, I think she was in charge of the envelope.
Okay.
Because it's kind of awkward for me to, you know, I don't want people to
Yeah.
feel like, you know, so Julia just takes care of that.
Okay.
And
Okay.
Tara, some you got and some you didn't, so just for those that did send it in, some sort of confirmation that you do have theirs, just in case that got missed.
Okay. I'll only send it to those I have not received from.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and send that. So yeah, I mean, we can go into executive session unless folks want to go ahead and take time to look at the reviews, and we can schedule something maybe next week or maybe in a couple of days. I don't know how everybody feels about that, or we can go into executive session later this evening once we're done. Any thoughts? Okay.
I would suggest maybe at the very end of the meeting, we could do a quick executive session.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's talk about our process to wrap it up.
That's fine. Okay, so we'll go into executive session then after. And then we can get the reviews, and then Stacy and I can review once I have all those.
And if you do come up with a figure, just let me know.
Okay. All right. Okay. Anything else?
Not from me.
Bruce? Anything?
Yes, I wanted to ask the board whether or not you had the opportunity to discuss Christine Henley's application to join the board. Is
No,
that something?
we did briefly 2 meetings ago or a meeting ago, but I have been trying to dig through notes and past minutes. I know we had talked about decreasing our board numbers, but I'm
Yes.
struggling to find where we actually voted on that.
So it's in the August meeting minutes. Hal made a motion to reduce to 7 for the
That's what you.
remainder of 2020, and to reduce to 5 for the year 2021.
Okay,
And it was approved by the board.
it was, okay. And that was in the August minutes?
Yes.
Carrie's on top of it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it's a good, that we've got interest. I just, right now we are at 7. I think Hal and Merv will be saying farewell to, so that'll take us to 5, and that's what we agreed to for the year.
Yeah.
And then you never know. We might need another member at some point in the future, but right now we would be considered full, I think.
Perfect. Thank you. Because I was not having luck finding those minutes, so I appreciate that.
And we had a pretty extensive discussion about the pros and cons of various numbers, and Gary did a nice presentation on what other libraries have in terms of their numbers to help inform that decision.
Yeah, and I think we said let's try 5 for a year. Sorry.
One thing to keep in mind is that you didn't change your bylaws.
Right. That was going to be my follow-up question.
If you don't change the bylaws, then technically the motion, I don't know if that's enough.
Well, I think we voted, the motion was to change the bylaws. It actually said it in the motion.
Okay.
So
I guess
it just, the physical change didn't maybe occur on paper, but the specific vote to do the change was approved.
Okay. Perfect.
And I think in our discussion too, we said, there's several other boards in our area that are working with 5 members, Fairport, Walworth, I think maybe might be Palmyra, I don't remember. But, and we said, let's try 5. Let's see how it works. If we don't like it, we readdress it.
Yeah, I remember that conversation. I also, going in extensively about how we typically struggle to find board members and things like that. So yeah, I mean, I definitely think that number makes sense for our library and our size. We just need to actually.
Should we get back to the applicant and I forgot her name and let her know that that we are currently full given our current our current numbers per our recent bylaw change, but we would we hope that she remains interested because not that I hope anybody goes anywhere, including myself, but we have had openings before, so we certainly want her to, or anybody who's interested to not think that we're not interested in considering them.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, and Stacy, do you want me to send that or?
Sure. Do you have her address?
Can you send it to me? I think she had it on her application, which I do have, but if you just please send that to me.
Yeah, the other thing, I don't know if you want to, if it's maybe it's not worth pointing out, but I believe we have, based on our terms, some members whose term ends in December of 2021. It does, but they could go on because we agreed. I think we can have 3 terms. I don't think anybody's completing their 3rd term, but it's possible that come January of 2022, we might have an opening if someone decides when their term ends not to continue. That's all.
Whose term ends?
I think Steve's does.
Yeah, mine does.
Yeah.
Tara, is yours?
I think so.
I thought those were the 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Now we want you to stay. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to.
I don't know. After tonight's meeting, maybe you don't want that because I'm a hot mess.
One thing that'll have to be done by the next board meeting is the change in the bylaws and then have it approved, because if we're going to limit to just 5 board members, the annual report to the state is due in February, and they'll have a box. I'll have to explain why coming into this new year, we're only going to have 5 people when we had 7. And I'll have to be able to say that we changed our bylaws.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all part of what I wanted to chat about.
It shouldn't be terribly hard.
No, I think we just have to change the verbiage and the number.
It's a matter of a line change, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if we want to just, whatever people want to be involved with that, a quick meeting, and then, we share what we came up with the rest of the board. Hopefully, everybody can agree on it and
I mean,
and
we've
then
agreed,
it's- Yeah.
we've already
then I
agreed
can-
on it.
what?
Yeah,
We've
we've
already agreed
voted.
on it.
Well, I mean, on the you didn't agree on the change to the bylaw. I mean, you still have to go over the wording and make sure everybody's copacetic, which they probably will be, but just matter of formality.
Who will do the physical change in the wording? Is that you or Tara?
Well, normally it's 2 or 3 people have a quick meeting and just kind of look at
I
it.
mean,
and-
all you're doing is taking the line and replacing the number with a different number. You're not changing anything else.
Yeah, and we've
That's literally all you want because,
Yes,
oh, okay. Well,
yeah,
then
and
I
we
guess-
already voted on it and chatted
yes.
and yeah.
Okay,
That's what I'm saying. This shouldn't be such a big deal.
Of changing the official copy of the bylaws
Correct.
and then
Right.
just sending it to everybody so we all have an updated copy, I guess.
okay.
And posted on the
Website.
website. Yeah.
We don't need to drag it out any further.
Okay. There was no other, that's it in the bylaws. I was on the committee that went over them a few years ago, but I don't have them.
Yeah, we
Fresh
did
in
that, what, 2 years ago?
Yeah,
or-
I don't have it fresh in my mind anymore.
I mean, I can pull them up here quick, but I doubt there's anything too crazy if we just change it from a 7 to a 5. It should kind of capture it all.
What the heck?
Oh, Bruce, while I'm looking this up, did you have anything else?
Based on that 10-minute conversation, no.
Ah,
I have
I'm
another.
all set.
you want to talk
That's how I'm closing out 2020 right there.
Mike?
It's the George Costanza move.
Yeah, no, I asked because we've got our reorganization next week and I would have added her to the roster, but I'm all set. Thank you.
You're gonna take your color chart and go home, huh?
That's right. Yep, my colored palettes.
I have something to relay to you from the historian and the library staff member that works in the Bullis room.
Oh.
So the system that keeps the room climate controlled and everything is not working. So apparently it's been turned off. There was an alarm going off and now it's it appears that it's been turned off. So
All right. I'll talk to
Stacy.
Scott about that tomorrow.
and I think Linda might talk to you about it too, but I'm not sure. So you might get it more than once.
Well, then I'll just have to read Wolfpack, won't I?
Yeah, that's what it is for all.
Stacy, has anybody else shown symptoms?
No, we're all good except for one employee had an exposure over the holidays. So she is currently on a quarantine. She'll have to be tested later this week. And then stay on quarantine. Hopefully she won't have caught it. If she doesn't have it, then she can come back next week. But if she does catch it, well, she'll be out a while. So we just have to wait and see. Hopefully, fingers crossed, she doesn't have it.
Right, yeah.
Quarantine was reduced, I think, to 10 days today with some testing.
Yeah. Yeah, which would mean she could, if she doesn't have it, if it's just an exposure and she doesn't actually have it, she could come back next Tuesday.
Good.
So let's hope she doesn't. I would think that this is going to be a recurring thing going forward, and it's going to get tricky because, well, we only have so many people and not everybody can work all like in the day, and it gets, but we'll just do the best we can going forward. That's all we can do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I have somebody out at my office
At least on grab and go.
and I just talked to the Department of Health today because there's no real set day they can return to work. If they come down with more symptoms later after seemingly getting better, they're possibly out another 10 days. So it's just crazy.
Yeah. It is crazy. And it just, I can't wait for people to get these shots so we can get out of this situation.
I'm not seeing anything, sorry to interrupt, it directly in the bylaws of how many people. So I'll have to keep looking at this, but
No, let me see.
I don't see like hard numbers in the, but so I don't know if it's like hidden
I know we've looked at it before and there were.
in the policies or something maybe. Let me do a control search.
It's right here, Article 2, Organization, Section 1.
But in no case.
And it was 9. So actually we'll be going down to 4.
Did that set it at 9 or say up to 9?
No, we had to set it to 9 because remember a few years ago, because the annual report people said, we don't accept ranges anymore, even though that's what we always had. They don't accept ranges. So it used to be we could have from 5 to 15. And that's how it was written. So we had to come up with a number. So at that point in time, the trustees on the board felt they went with 9. They felt 9 was a good number. The thinking was, well, if a few people don't show up, it'll be plenty of people. So we'll never have to worry. We can't pay the bills. So that's literally the only place.
Yeah, cause that's why I'm like, I'm searching for 5.
That's really
7.
that's super
So
easy.
change the 9 to a 7 or
Yeah.
a 5.
Yeah,
Up to
5.
I was thinking it was referred to more. My gosh.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, okay. So yeah, we'll just change that to the 5. So then we're good. Okay.
But what's a quorum then? Is it going to be 3?
Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay.
Well, right now our thing says, but in no case less than 5 trustees. So you don't have a quorum unless everybody's in. That's what I mean. You really have to sit down and read them. There's all these little details. Where I see that is Article 4, Section 3.
Can you just send another copy of that out?
I can.
Okay.
I think it would be good just for everybody to have an eyeball on them.
Okay. All right. So with that said, do we want to meet next week? 3 of us? Are there 3 people that want to?
If 3 people say they want to do it, I'm happy to send a doodle poll or something to, pin down a date that works for everyone.
I'm available.
Yep.
So
Me.
Steve.
Yep.
Steve, Tara,
Gary.
Debbie, Gary. Sure.
Well, it doesn't have to be everybody, but
That's okay. If
We might as well.
so it's Steve, Gary, Tara, and Denise.
Sure.
Okay.
Can we set a time now?
yeah, I can do anytime next week.
Okay.
What about you, Debbie? You've got your job at school and everything. What works for
Yeah,
you?
we're on break. So are we talking during the day?
I can do anytime.
Yeah, so if we're talking next week, Mondays are a little bad, but for the most part, I can do a lot of, I'm pretty flexible. Let me see.
I'm not during the day, but I
Yeah,
That's okay. Okay, so if we did
Do we
next,
do like a 6 o'clock?
I could do a 6 o'clock. I could do a 6 o'clock any night.
I can't do Wednesday night because
you want to
no, I can because
okay, so you want to do Tuesday the 5th at 6 p.m.?
I can.
Perfect.
Sure. Wait,
Debbie
Tuesday,
can.
Tuesday, the 5th?
The 5th, 5 at 6.
Okay.
Okay, perfect.
And you'll send us out a.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Let me just write that down. Okay. Bruce was done. We'll go over those. If Stacy, you can send the copy. We didn't get our friend to join. All right, sexual harassment policy. Did everybody get the updates?
Yes.
Were there any
Yeah.
questions, concerns?
No,
Nope.
And could someone make a motion to pass the sexual harassment policy?
I'll move that we pass the sexual harassment policy as drafted.
Perfect. And a second?
I'll second.
And then all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Beautiful. We did the accounting fee update. The board rolls for 2021. So we know Hale, this is your last meeting.
It is.
Hale.
Thank you for your service, Hal.
Thank you.
You're
Yeah.
welcome. It's been my pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Hal.
Yep, thank you.
Yes.
You will be extremely missed. I understand, but selfishly, I'm very sad and I'm going to miss you. We came in at the same
Thank you.
time. You can't leave without me. So with that said, do I have anyone that is willing to step in for the vice president role for Hale's replacement? Not everyone at once, just calm
Steve,
down.
Steve, did somebody say Steve?
I did.
Thanks, Hal. Appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome.
What'd you do to Hal?
Took that bus and just backed over him there. Well, I guess, yeah, I don't know. Anybody give any thought or have any desire? We need somebody. And then Denise, are you willing to stay on as secretary, or is that something that you?
Sure, I can do that.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Steve, are you not interested in being?
I did it before. I wouldn't mind doing it again, but I have some personal issues here at home that it makes it a little difficult for me to be over involved.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to share it with you. I feel like I don't have a huge role right now because we already did the strategic plan.
I guess we could do that.
All right.
Not that bad working with me, is it?
You know we're doing this for free, Tara.
Oh wait, you don't get that big fat check every month that I get coming? No. Okay, so I don't know if it's a shared role, how we would go ahead and, I mean, we can just list both, right?
That's what I was.
Yeah, I'll leave it up to you, Steve. Whatever, if you want to share it, if you want to do it, if you want me to do it, it's completely up to you.
If you can do it, you can have it. If you can't, I'm willing to help out, but I can't commit to anything.
Okay, well, how about this? If Tara and I need help, then we'll come to you.
I'm your man.
Perfect. Okay. Well, thank you, Debbie. I know you're really busy, and I know it's tough, and adding one more thing to your plate is it definitely doesn't It's not ideal, I get it, but I certainly greatly appreciate it.
Not a
So,
problem.
I believe
As long as you're not going anywhere.
I'm not going anywhere.
Okay.
Not for I barely leave the house. Where am
I know, right? I have to start going back to Buffalo in February, so.
Ew, gross. February of all months too.
I know.
Okay, so with that said, I mean, I know we're not. How are we doing our oaths this year if we're not with each other to sign? I don't know how that's gonna work. I'll have to think about that. And maybe we
could you email them or just mail them to us and we'll just mail them back to you? Or do we have to do it with?
It has to
have
have
to recite it.
they have to be notarized.
To be notarized, that's right.
Denise, are there any specifics around notarizing because of COVID that have changed?
It's really tricky. We'd have to, I can't tell you how complicated it would be to do it for this many people. You have to have a scanner, both ends. You have to be able to sign something, scan it back, then mail it to me, the original, then I can notarize it a second time. The rules are very
It
complicated.
sounds like it might make sense to just sort of schedule a thing where we come in one at a time or something, and to keep the numbers down and the distance and just do it in person.
We could do it in the parking lot. Kathy she's a notary.
Yeah, hopefully not on a day that's this cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
I could
You have to.
somebody in the parking lot if you need to do it, or you could come by my office. I could run out to the car or something if you let me know in advance.
A drive-by notary.
Do we have to recite it out loud, or is it just sign it?
You just have to swear it's truthful.
Yeah. So not for anything. With that said, I mean, they could be sent electronically, and then
everybody could go to the bank.
Yeah.
Town hall and get it notarized.
Yeah, like if you're at the bank or the town hall, or stop in when whoever
when Kathy's there.
Yeah. So why don't we plan on that? Stacy, if you could send those to everybody, and then before next our January meeting, we get those all taken care of.
Okay.
And then the only other thing would be getting Debbie on for the signing of checks, because I believe Hal is at Lions National. So it would be Debbie, Gary, and I. And Steve, are you on there?
I was before. I don't know if I still am or not.
Okay. So, and then what's involved with that is, I believe you would stop into Lions National.
I think we all got to be there together, don't we?
Yeah, you got to be. Well, I don't know if we.
I think you had to be there, didn't you, Stacy, before?
No, said
you have to have it in the minutes, and you have to give them the minutes.
The minutes.
Yeah,
that's what we have to do for something else.
Yeah.
So once this month's minutes, they were sent to the Lions National Bank, and then I just stopped in and signed the paperwork.
Yeah.
That's what I did too.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Well, I'll do my best to get the minutes early. I'm short a staff member now because of COVID, so I'll do my best.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the check signing piece, I mean, Gary and I are on there right now, so I don't.
No, I'm not.
There's a huge rush for that, but as far as all of the oaths and everything, that should be something we should have ready to go for January.
And I'm not on there right now, Tara.
No.
Nah.
But Steve might be.
If they didn't take me off, I'm still on there.
2 people then? Do we have to approve Gary and Debbie? Or just?
Yes.
We have to approve both. Okay.
Yeah, and I don't think we ever did anything to take you off, Steve. So I don't know. We'd have to look into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Gary Crane might still be on there.
Yeah, could be.
Really? So
Yeah,
maybe we should make a motion right now to approve Gary and Debbie to be a signatory on checks and to take off Steve and,
Well,
Gary,
they
Gary.
only, what they do is when you update every year, like you're supposed to with the minutes, then it's only the people named in your minutes.
oh,
I think
okay.
they take the other people off, but I think we missed last year.
All right, so do you need a motion?
Yes.
Yes,
All right, I'll make it to approve Gary and Debbie to sign checks on behalf of the library.
And Tara,
Take my name off.
Oh, and Tara and Stacy's already on there.
Yeah.
I'll second.
Then all in favor?
Aye.
I,
Thank you.
I'll abstain.
You probably should name me too, just to make it clear.
Yeah, I
If you
will.
take me off, that would be bad because I sign most of the stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and then we would also need a motion, I believe, for Debbie to take the vice, correct? Or do we just do that when we sign?
To take the what?
Vice President.
Role?
Do it now and then it'll be done.
Hold the
We'll
vote.
make a motion
Make a motion. Yep.
that Debbie become the vice president.
Second.
Hallelujah, all in favor. No. You got big shoes to fill with Hal leaving though.
I know.
Let you know. Okay, all right, so we got our board roles.
What do we do with the signed notarized oath? Give it to Stacy at the library, send it to you, where's it go?
Make a copy for the library and give the hard copy to the town.
The town. Okay.
Carrie Bowers. But the library tries to keep a copy too, because sometimes the state will ask me bizarre things and I have to be able to. So
will the town make a copy of the original for us, or should we sign two separate ones?
Well, you could do it either way. You could print it out twice and give one to me and one to Carrie. Maybe do that, print it out twice and just give one to me and one to Carrie. That way we both have originals.
Carrie
Yeah.
Bowers, Bowers.
I think that's right.
Yes.
Yeah,
Sounds right.
perfect.
All
Okay,
right, if anybody has trouble getting it notarized, just let me know and I'll, we'll figure out how to do it.
okay, perfect, thank you.
Stacy, did you mention to Kathy that some of us will be dropping in there to get it notarized?
Yeah, Kathy tends to work, the safest hours come between 10 and 3, because depending on the day, her leave time changes. So if you make it by 3, you'll be good. She'll be there.
Okay,
But not on Friday. She doesn't work Friday.
can't the bank notarize it, the people at the bank?
Yep.
yeah,
If you're going there to sign it, might as
Yeah.
well get it notarized there.
Well, I think Carrie is a notary too.
probably.
No, I don't believe Carrie is a notary.
No,
She's not. Is the other
No.
one that sits in the
How about
window?
Charlene? How about
sure they have-
Somebody over there, I think, is a notary. No?
Not that I'm aware of. We're working on one.
Oh, must be. I'm sorry. I thought somebody over there could do it.
yeah, I just assumed Carrie was, but anyway, so you have the bank or,
Kathy.
yeah, Kathy. Or Denise, if you make special
Yep.
reservations. Okay. So we increased the last, well, not last thing, but the last agenda topic is the COVID-19 caseload and grab and go. Stacy, do you wanna?
I think that we should proceed the way we are. I don't think the caseload's going to be getting any better for a while. And I don't want to have to shut down unless the state says, people have to. So just try to keep going the way we're going. It's the safest way I know of to be somewhat open.
Yeah.
Yeah, and other libraries have joined in, grab and go type services too now at this point. So, yeah.
Has there been any backlash from the community or people with, wanting to come in, or have you heard any?
I think people have been pretty good. Some people are, it's disappointing that it has to be this way, but they're like, but they get it. They're like, but we get it. That's what they'll say. Well, I don't like it, but I get it.
Okay.
So,
Now,
yeah. And if this new strain hits our area that's supposed to be even more easily spread, I don't know.
What was that, Hal?
oh, I was gonna say, now, when I call the library, I get a, please leave a message. So the message, I say what books I need.
You
Okay.
can.
Okay,
Yeah, sure. Just make sure you tell us it's you.
yep, yep.
And you could say, yeah, I want this book and it's Hal, and yeah, we'll get them ready and we'll call you. Yeah.
I wanted to interrupt quick.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Brandy Shute over at the town is the code enforcement clerk. She's a notary.
Ah,
She'll be at the town office tomorrow. If anybody wants to get it done quick.
Oh, okay, great, thank you.
All right.
Quick action, thanks.
Yep.
Okay, so anybody have any concerns with staying status quo with the grab and go, or any?
With the incidents going up in our area, I think that's the best path for the short term. We can address it monthly.
I think that's a good idea.
I don't think there's going to be any big downturn anywhere in the near future until there's a lot of
No,
vaccinations.
they're predicting a surge on top of a surge.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
it's not going down. And today was like 12% or something like that. So.
And I look at it like, we're keeping people safe, but we're also helping the whole community stay safer, because we don't want to be a vector. Not only does it keep our patrons safe, but it keeps the whole community safe, because if we're not helping to transfer the virus, because it's so exponential. If we're trying to behave in a way that doesn't allow it to spread, then we're not part of that. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not just safety for the individual, it's safety for the whole. So, and I think it's good modeling too. Like, it's a serious thing. And
well, we're not getting a lot of negative feedback from it, right?
No, I really haven't. I haven't had any angry emails or.
So people are being understanding. So we're in the right path, I think.
I think so. I think most people get it.
Yeah.
I mean, there probably is somebody. There probably are a few people maybe that are, not happy. And I worry about that a little, but I think most people get it and most people are not upset.
Yeah. I mean,
Is there any additional guidance you're getting at all from Pioneer?
In regards to
Just, anything COVID related.
Well, we're more focused on the air at this point, and we're moving the books rather than the people, which means the delivery is opening up more. We're going to have 3 deliveries per week starting the first week of the new year, so next week, which means it's better to have the books come to the different libraries than for people to be getting in their cars and sometimes crossing county boundaries even to go to some other library because they really want this book or this movie or whatever it is. Hopefully we can not have as much of that happening, but at the same time, it's complicated with delivery, and probably 3 times a week is going to be all like the max for a while, but it still helps. It'll make the stuff move a little faster. And I can't remember if I just said this or not, but the books are only going to be quarantined for a day because it's not as much about the touch. It's more the air thing.
Airborne.
So we're still gonna do a day. There are systems apparently that don't do any. And, but Ron's not comfortable with that, just cause you don't wanna be the one library system that doesn't do it and some outlier situation happens, you know? So just to be somewhat cautious, but that'll speed things up too.
Absolutely.
Because at one point we were at 7 days and then we walked back on that to 4 days. And as of the new year, I'm going to do a day.
Yeah.
I mean, any
I think
library
that's great.
can, you know, they can make their own decisions based on their community and whatever. But I think
We
I
got
think
caught
it
up with that backlog, you know, where I know you're accommodating everything, but still you had that 10 limit or whatever it was. And then you couldn't, because even though you return books, they're sitting in quarantine and you can't take any more out because you're at your limit. And so this will clearly help with that a lot. Plus
Well,
the holes moving.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
initially when we reopened, nobody really knew for sure. You know, you have to do it and experience it to know how to handle it. And I think everybody was a little bit afraid, you know, like you want to be cautious. You don't want to do something wrong that causes people to get sick. So we've learned a lot since we reopened back in July.
It's a learning as we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, I mean, you have to remember in July, we didn't have the use of the system the way we do now. They weren't allowing holds.
Right.
So that's why I had that whole convoluted site that we used so people could sort of, they could make requests. They weren't real holds. And I was worried that if people borrowed too many things and that was our system, that it would become too overwhelming to deal with. Because that wasn't it was a free site. So, you know, it was okay. It served its purpose, but I was glad when we didn't have to use it anymore. I took that right off. Gone.
I think we need to probably just make it a standard agenda item that we kind of review kind of where we're at every month and reevaluate and just keep doing it each month till we can finally go back to normal.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Okay.
Hopefully, I think as the weather gets nicer, as we start to get towards spring, that's my hope. And more people have been vaccinated and
That's going to be
get better.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a light at the end of the tunnel coming.
Okay, great. Yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll add that. All right. Let's see. So with that said, and unless anybody else has anything to add about anything, I'll open
We've still got one more agenda item.
For so the review audit.
Yeah.
Review audit.
So I sent out a letter to everybody about the procedures that Stacy and I met about to provide to the Bonadeo group as to which procedures, policy, financial procedures we would have recommended for the audit. And I sent out an email with a couple attachments, and we listed out the actual procedures that we recommended, and then I provided an attachment that had kind of cut and pasted those specifics of those procedures out of the policy manual, so you didn't have to go look at the policy manual specifically. And then I had a link to the policy manual in case you needed to. So the request today was to see if anybody had any questions about which procedures were being recommended. And, you know, depending on what the discussion is, we'll determine, you know, what we're going to share with Bonadeo. So I'll open it up the floor to see if anyone has any questions about that note or the procedures that Stacy and I reviewed and our reasoning behind our criteria and which ones we selected.
Gary, when did you send this email?
Beginning of December.
Yeah. So let me look for the date here.
And
Right after Thanksgiving, wasn't it, Gary?
What's that?
Wasn't it right after Thanksgiving? My memory's any good?
I'm looking here.
and what did it come from? Your the email. This, let's see. Just trying to figure out here why I don't have it. Gary Foley at rochester.rr.com.
Right.
And do you happen to know if you sent it to my personal email or my office email?
I'm trying to find it so I can see.
Here, I have it right here. So it was December 8th, and it was from the Rochester.rr.
And it went to dmunson1@rochester.rr.
That's my email. I'm trying to look it up in my inbox. And I don't see it.
I just sent it to you again.
Oh, good.
Oh, good. Yep. Yeah, I mean, as far as the items, is this like a common list of items that you got from other audits, or the recommended audit items?
No, these are items that are, if you look in our policy manual and you look at the financial
Sure,
section, so they're policies we already have and procedures we already have, and good areas to kind of zero in on.
Gotcha.
But I mean, if people want to look more closely at the finance section and have different areas they want to.
Yeah, I'm just looking at that right.
I was.
I think it looks good.
I was looking at trying to find it right now, the handbook.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a section in there about audits, and it talked about typical things that you want to have reviewed are your areas of financials. And it was interesting, the ones that Stacy and I, we put together this criteria that we wanted our audit to be the policies that were most frequently used, the policies that we might want to improve upon, and the policies where we think there's greatest exposure. And it was interesting. I'm not finding it right this second, but in the manual here, it actually identified your credit card policy, your bill paying policies. It identified all the ones that we picked.
Yeah.
So I felt like, oh, we're right on. We actually picked the right ones.
Yeah.
Well, I know too, I hear about libraries that get audited by the state, and these are common areas where when the state comes in, if they're going to find mistakes, these are areas that commonly cause problems. So
yeah, on page 53 of the manual, it says New York State Controller's Audit, and it mentions each library board should ensure library policy, procedure, practices are in alignment with OSC's recommended best practices for internal controls, particularly in areas of claims audit process. Does the board review and approve every bill? Cash handling procedures, purchasing and procurement policy, credit card policy. So those are right in line with the things that we selected, and that was right out of the manual. So
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
have them look at the stuff we know that state would look at if they knock on our door.
yeah, and it's definitely things you want to be protected with, right? Purchase,
Right.
investments, credit cards, like those are what you hear about in the Times.
Yeah.
From the soccer moms dipping into the basket. But yeah, so yeah,
I think it looks good.
When I
think
read it over, I thought it was all right.
Then that's what we want.
And not for anything, I mean, we see where it goes and if we need to tweak it for next time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the auditor will probably give us some suggestions.
Yeah,
The idea is
Yeah.
you would implement them.
yeah, one of the things I said in my note was we'd give this to them. If the board's in approval with, this is what we start with.
Yeah.
We'll give it to to Bonadio. They'll probably come back with, yeah, maybe did you think of that? You know, there may be some suggestions, some change or whatever. We'll bring that back to the board. All right, but this was the starting point.
I think it's a great starting point. That anybody beg to differ or have other thoughts?
No.
Okay. All right, do we want to make a motion then? Someone make a motion to
Submit these to the Bonadio group for their approval.
and then second,
I'll second it.
okay. And then all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
So you want me to reach out to Bonadio? I just want to make sure.
Yeah,
Yes, Stacey, I think you can go forward with it and we'll see what they, come back with.
Yeah.
If they want a meeting to discuss it or something, let me know.
and then Chris, would you be involved in any of said meetings, or is that something that you?
It can be. If you want me to be there, I can be.
Okay.
Whatever you guys want.
Okay, perfect. All right. Anything else? Open the floor up. Any other topics, concerns? No?
Don't think so.
So at this time, we can pop into executive session. If I could get someone to make a motion so that we can review the director's salary for 2021.
I'll make a motion to go into executive session.
I'll second that, Mark.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Bye.
Bye,
All
Stacy.
right, Happy
Thank
New Year,
you.
everybody.
Happy New
Bye,
Year.
Bye.
Happy New Year.
Too.
Thank you.
Happy New Year. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and stop recording.